I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home!
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Say hello to my little friend! It's a man, baby! Fuck you, retard!
Oh, behave. Yeah. Why so serious?
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
I am Iron Man.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Welcome to the Man Show, everybody, and we're very manly today. I'm Cav Manning, along with Mr. Billy Body, and the little giggler in the background we have here is Georgie Darby, who is a hot little minx who I'm going to be perusing her pictures as we talk to her, and I'll be giving a play-by-play of each of these pictures. She is, what do you guys do in England? It's very different than in the greatest country in the world, America, over here. You guys, though, have great channels to where Billy and I have gone through this before, where he has sent me video of the television, and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I would never leave a room.
So backtrack here for a second. First of all, we need a better intro because actually before Georgie went onto this, she was doing proper modeling before, which I think she'd like to mention because some of the girls just go straight onto it and probably couldn't get proper published. But we actually have a guest who's a proper.
We'll get there, but this is way more entertaining.
Billy, stop it! God.
Proper modeling. Who cares about that? This is the fun stuff. What are you kidding me? Jesus Christ.
I just wanted to take a dig. I just wanted to have a quick dig at the other girls in the industry.
Oh, no.
Oh, because she's better than them, I see.
Yeah, she's a little bit, yeah.
And before the microphones came on, she goes, you know what? I am so much better than these other fucking whores that are on these TV channels.
I did not. I swear to God,
I heard that. Or maybe that was Billy.
I did not.
I actually have a funny story about that, but I'll get to it later. Once we're flowing. But yeah, that's worth a mention. And the second thing is that we perused through these channels. The first conversation I had with you was actually in reference to, oh, so you were married before? Oh, what was your wife like? Oh, and it was like, oh yeah, she's one of these. So that's how it all came about. Otherwise, how could this come up between an English person and an American?
Unless just there's two perverts talking together, and this would come up some way, somehow. So on these channels, from what I see as an outsider looking in, you both correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like a phone line, a party line almost, to where you get to call and we're watching you live on the TV, and there's a phone number. We call and say, well, I would like you to do this or that, and do they then tip you, or do they put in money, or what do they have to do?
No, they don't tip. They're just paying per minute.
Oh, so they're paying to call. It's a toll line that they're calling. And do you try to keep them on that line? And oh, come on, this is the way I would be doing it. I would try to milk people and keep them on, make them feel important, you actually give a shit.
They're trained to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should be.
What's the craziest shit that someone asked you to do on the camera?
Fucking hell.
Tell you to bring a jar of peanut butter and get a dog in the room or anything like that?
Look, I'll say the weirdest thing that I've seen was a guy who come through sucking his own cock. I'd never actually seen it before.
So he actually, it's like you could see him on the video.
This was on cam. So you can
there's two different jobs. There's two different sides of the job, Kat. So the girls go on TV, but that's TV. That's obviously softer than what you can do on your camera at home.
Yeah. So so on cam you can do what you want, but then you can see them as well.
So you start off as a proper model at what age?
We're going to keep saying proper. Like,
Well, the proper model part is the one that's not naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what age does
But that's
the
thing, it's
regular
also,
modeling
you're
start?
you're not silicone either, are you? Like you're like actually like a real, like the real McCoy as well. That's the other thing as well.
Oh yeah, but I ain't got a problem with any girls having like.
No,
silicone.
of course. But like when you started out, it was there was a case of certain papers would only put.
Oh yeah. So
page
page three, it was
Yeah.
it was only like natural. So yeah, I've done a little bit of that for a little while, and then got nished off after about fucking two years. But I've done it anyway. Done it.
So, explain
Yeah,
page 3 for anybody that's on my side of the pond.
It's just your tits are out on page 3.
So there's a newspaper that just has models on a page number 3.
A couple, yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
is it an advertisement for anything? Or is it just here's the naked section of the paper?
Yeah, it's just tits out on page 3.
Really? And they pay well for that? Like they hire you, or it's to get your name out, so they're doing you the favor and they don't even pay you?
No, you get paid. But I don't want to disclose payment. But it wasn't
Sure.
amazing.
So it's good pay then.
Because
No, it wasn't amazing.
Okay.
No, I had an ex that was basically on a contract to do it, and they could have you in or out as much as they wanted, really, or they would shoot you a certain number of like sets and outfits, and they would just carry on using them throughout. They try to get you in and take as many photographs as they can that they can use throughout the year without having to pay you again. Is that pretty much right?
No, I never. I just went in, and that time I'd go in, you'd get used. So they'd only do it like once, like one
Right.
photo, if you know what I mean. It's a bit weird, and she'd take about 4 or 5 photos, and that was it.
So is your
No more.
first time modeling is then you're topless, or did you do like fashion stuff first?
No, tits out straight away.
Straight away with the titties out. How old were you when you started that?
19.
And what size cup size were you at that point?
28F.
Dear Lord. You know what, Billy? It's time to send pictures over. I'm going to have to take a look because, as you well know, Billy, I'm a boob man. Very much. I don't really care. If someone has a flat ass but they got big tits, that's fine with me. So I'm going to have to see what's going on. So I guess you were not like a prude in school. You weren't shy about your body. And what time? Well, I mean, you must have developed pretty early, probably like 11 years old, the boys in class.
Talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about that. Fucking hell.
Well, I'm saying when you were growing up, did you develop really early?
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about that. It just sounds weird.
Oh, well, I mean, we're not going to go back into what happened or anything like this. But so you develop at a young age, of course, and I'm assuming that you're very popular in school.
I think he's trying to like basically find out in terms of. I think he's trying to get around to how when you made the decision to do this and what brought it about. Was it in terms of was it brought about from comments and attention, or was it just I don't know what the trigger is. I'm trying to find. I guess he's trying to find out.
I don't know. Just wanted to do it. There's no other reason. No reason for it.
So there's no people like at this point when you're that age going, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this.
No, none. Just wanted to do it.
So did you always want to do that? Like growing up, you said, "Oh, I want to like," and obviously you were a good-looking girl.
Not when I was younger. I didn't know what I wanted to fucking do.
And it just strikes you out of the blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I didn't want to do this. Like, I don't think this. It's weird in a sense that everybody on this call is actually doing jobs that probably didn't even exist back when we was at school. Because a podcast didn't exist when I was at school. Like this didn't exist at all. So
yeah, I'd never even heard of it.
No, you hadn't heard of it now, had you? Because I was talking to you this week.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know what a fucking podcast was.
Wow. I don't know how you could even live not knowing that. I mean,
I tell you this, and you're very much in this bubble where like you think that people know this kind of stuff, but they don't. I get that all the time. In fact, nearly half of the girls that we have on ask me what a podcast is.
So I requested her on this Instagram, so she has to accept me.
Oh, right.
so you
And
can
then
see.
I'm like, why would you make it private? Because you're a public figure.
but
you
you
would
could
want as
Google
many
it
as
because-
possible.
You could Google her too because she's a proper established model. Like not.
Billy, stop it, man. Fucking hell.
Do you ever have you ever ran across the whole casting couch thing when trying to get jobs?
No, definitely not.
Never
Kind of
even been
bringing,
approached
the
like
Harvey,
that.
Harvey Weinstein thing
Yeah.
into this week.
Haven't been approached for it or anything? Everyone's
No,
been
never.
professional. Wow.
Never.
You have totally run a good course. I mean, my God, that's normal. Sexual harassment's like a normal thing that everyone seems to get. So on these things, you're doing whatever the video, you're live on TV, and they're telling you, use a dildo, things like this, right? So on these things, does anyone ever join you, either another girl or another guy, and put on a show on the TV, or is it just solo? That's it.
It's just solo. Can't do girl or anything like that.
Would you do movies, or have you done movies? I don't know.
No, never.
Would you?
No.
Well, I don't know with that giggle. It sounds like, well, it depends. The price is right.
No, that's a no for me.
Okay. How
Would you?
about what is when you do you go out on dates with guys? Do you have a boyfriend?
No, I'm single.
Do you date, or are you just strictly into business at this point?
I don't do either.
I would figure you must have a friend with benefits or something like that. You got to have something going on, right?
No.
No world. So you pretty much just get yourself off on the TV, and you don't need another guy to come around.
Yeah, so loads.
Actually, I can send you a link for that as well if you want, Cav.
For what?
The what?
I can send you a link for that as well if you want to see that.
What link?
Like, I think. Hold on.
Yeah, link to what? What am I looking at? What are you talking about? So when was the last time you were with a guy in your private life?
I don't know. Fucking ages ago.
Really?
I couldn't give you a specific date.
You must get hit on like crazy though, right? Like walking down the street, everybody's like they break their necks, turning around to look.
No, not really.
Oh, see, women don't understand. I think women don't notice. I have the same thing with a girlfriend. I'm like, everybody's looking, of course. And no one's even looking at me. I'm like, you're out of your mind to not think somebody's looking as you're walking down the street. And you know what? I guarantee they're scared to death to come talk to you.
Yeah, probably.
That's what happens. Good-looking girls, guys are like, why would I even bother to try?
I went and spoke to her, no problem. I don't know. Don't tag me.
Well, you're a fucking heathen. That's why.
Actually, I wasn't. Actually, I wasn't a heathen at all. I was.
You seem pretty sober.
I was at that point. Yeah, I was.
Or was you? I don't know.
No, I was. I was sober at that point. I was actually. I was considering like talking to you like before, like maybe like 10 minutes before, and I kind of like didn't do it, and then I came and spoke to you then 10 minutes later, because I spoke to you on Facebook, but I wasn't sure if I'd spoke to you on Facebook. Because it's a whole thing of like, because you guys have fakes.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, yeah. So it was like, who am I talking to? Like, and the thing is, and then I thought about it for 10 minutes, and then I thought, this fake, if they are a fake, hasn't been as exciting as a fake would be.
You're disappointed.
Yeah, it never got to a point where the fake was asking me to do this, that, and the other, or whatever, and then sent me to meet up with them somewhere in a place where they weren't going to turn up to, that kind of thing. So at this point, because the conversation was so normal, I figured it has to be that. But yeah, so and it turned out like that it was. But yeah, I just
Have you been duped in the past then?
not really. Just in terms of like I've seen accounts in terms of I know people have had their accounts copied and stuff. But why do people do that? Like, what's the benefit of being a fake version of you, for example?
Attention.
Yeah. Fuck knows, to be honest.
Is there any monetary gain?
no idea.
It's got to be fat pigs that just want attention from guys that have never gotten any, and now guys are falling all over themselves to talk and be nice to her. Of course.
But that makes you feel even worse, surely, because you're having to like steal someone's photos to.
They don't care. I mean, I think
It
it's
just seemed like a complete
talking.
and utter hassle, didn't it? Just to go to all the lengths to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd
It's just
agree.
very
I'm looking at these
But
pictures,
I don't
by the way.
actually, I don't even check for fakes because I can't be bothered. Because I think if I say to take the fake down, I think it will just give people reason to make more. Like
You're very like non-confrontational, aren't you? You're like very.
She's very
actually-
cavalier.
Yeah, I just can't be bothered. That's how I feel. Do you know what I mean? I can't be bothered to get involved in nothing. I can't be bothered to search for fakes.
So I'm looking at these pictures. Do you have cat ears tattooed on your pussy?
No.
That's what I
No,
thought it was.
no.
I thought that was supposed to be a pussy cat. What is that down there?
That's a flower.
Okay, because I guess I don't see the middle part. I'm seeing the leaves then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a little flower down there.
Well, that had to hurt.
Yeah, I can't remember the pain, but I knew it hurt at the time.
I can't see what you. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to look at it now.
Goodness gracious, God bless you. You know, since Billy had the balls to go up to you and talk to you, would you ever give him the time of day to take you out sometime?
I was already talking to her. Otherwise, I wouldn't just go up to random people.
No, I'm just saying, would she let you take her out sometime?
Whoa!
Well, I'm putting you on the spot,
I'm
Georgie.
nothing
Shut up,
to do
Billy.
with this
You don't get
part.
to see shit.
Oh my god!
What do you
Can we
say,
just
Georgie?
skip this
What do you think of him? What do you think of those that handsome devil? He looks like a filthy Jesus, doesn't he? Look at that guy.
Yes, but look, I don't.
What, have you got pictures of me somewhere now?
Who, me?
God.
Yeah, have you bought pictures?
Well, I have them
pictures
posted.
of me up?
Just the regular posters I have on my wall of you. But
you do have a picture of me somewhere on your desk.
in my
don't you?
desk
Like,
at work, it's me and you
Yeah.
in New Orleans. Yes, it's
yeah.
not just a picture of you, sprawled out covering your private parts or anything. But I mean, look, he had his teeth fixed. He had his nose done. He's very handsome.
Did you?
Oh,
Yeah.
he had this back in the day. You think that all came out natural? No, he's had more work. You've never had any work, right?
Yeah, I've had my teeth done.
Okay, well, that's being English. I think you all had to, right? That's the rules over there. If you're English,
Yeah.
you have
Do you know what?
Yeah, I know. The Americans think the English have got the worst teeth ever. They do, though, don't they?
The thing is,
They're
not,
obsessed
That's
with,
the
like,
stereotype
bad
for
teeth.
English, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Austin Powers did that to you guys.
in my defense, before I don't want to make this. This is not my interview, but
Go ahead, Billy. Make it about you. Go.
I also did proper modelling, but
Except it wasn't foot modeling. We know that.
no.
No, I think I actually remember that.
What's that?
The proper modelling that you saw.
Yeah, so I did that like before I went on Big Brother, and I was able to get by with my nose and my teeth, and only when I did that fucking vicious show. But like
But that was for a Turkish magazine, no?
No. But the weird thing is the thing is that we had bigger audiences than the reality shows get now. We used to just be out there with X Factor and Big Brother on our by ourselves, and only then did I realize my nose may not be the ideal shape, or my teeth might not be perfectly straight, because the abuse I was getting without and being only 22 and not thinking, well, you know what, these people are probably fat as fuck, or they're probably not worth listening to. I listened and read every single thing, and to the point where it was the first thing. So it drove me, somebody who'd been modeling for 3 years, straight down to like cosmetic surgeon, and to get it done straight away, and the teeth as well. And that's how bad it can be. The thing is that since that people don't realize, since then we've had like people killing themselves, which
Teeth
is like
is
a
normal
big
to fix, though. I mean, everybody does
Yeah.
that. That's pretty
But that's the
basic.
thing. It's a big thing over here, because you don't live over here. Like recently, we've had a massive TV presenter kill herself, and they've turned around and said it's down to like social media and whatnot. And and yet the thing is that I don't want to call people like weak because they killed themselves. But the thing is that
it is.
It's a very me thing to say. But the thing is that I don't get how he gets to that point, because I had it worse than anyone, I think, we used to have it the worst because we had it from so much more people. And the weakest thing I did was then changed a couple of things that they were talking about, thinking that, well, I'll be perfect now, so there's nothing they can say. So, but it's unfortunately, I don't think that's panned out. But yeah, that it does have that kind of like that's what kind of like drives you to it. But I think now there's so much going on. There's so much going on in terms of people can't handle anything. It's like if you take those things to heart, you can either ignore them and picture the comments coming from and say, well, that's probably a fat fuck, so just leave it, and it doesn't make a difference, and you've done fine up until that point. I didn't. I responded to it and went and got these couple of things changed. So that's the story behind that. But that's as far as it went. This whole thing about feel sorry for me, like my mental health is here, there, and everywhere. That's just never been it's never been me. I don't understand how this has come to this point. Do you not think that it's reached a point where people are using that as an excuse, or like did you think it's actually always been bad and people just wouldn't talk about it? I
don't know, really, to be honest.
Do you get any of it? Do you like?
I honestly, like, you can go through. I don't really get any bad comments.
I would say you were never an ugly duckling growing up, right?
No, if you went through my I have had it in the past,
and it's jealousy more than anything else.
I think the more you draw attention to it, because I brought it to their attention, it just made them worse. So they'd be even more nasty. So now I very, very, very rarely get it. It's the truth, and if I do get it, I just ignore it, because I just think.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're going to be as humble as you can, like on here, as you've tried to be so far. But you, as much as people think the phone sex channels like is quite like low key, at a point when you got involved, it kind of crossed over with they'd signed the contract to be on Freeview. Now, for people in America who don't know what that means, it means that, like, so we've got satellite channels which are encrypted, but Freeview is just pretty much regular terrestrial television. So the availability of that will be 2/3 of the country. So our population is at 60 million. So 40 million people could have watched Georgie, and it is pretty much a go-to spot for men to watch a little bit of. So there's the free views for the sex channels, so you can get a bit of free view between 12 and 10 past 10. But otherwise, Base Station stays on all night. So there would have been a load of people that saw it. So as much as like I've done the TV show and bits and pieces, but for 11 years, or at least 5 or 6 of those years, like you were right out there, like all the time, every week, like hundreds and thousands of people like saw you.
Yeah, it's funny that they're all sat there wanking. God.
Do you think of that in terms of like how like when
sometimes it just makes me laugh. It's just the thought of it. Yeah.
How many people do you think have wanked over you? That's like,
oh my god, fucking thousands.
It's got to exceed thousands. Yeah.
Don't know. Fuck knows.
Yeah, school kids are jerking off to that page 3 for sure.
Oh, I think more school kids are jerking off to the channel, because that's when it goes over to Freeview. That's something they can
easily get to. I'm thinking they could do the magazine though, or the newspaper, without their parents seeing, and then it's roll that thing up. Let's walk into the bathroom and jerk off. One of those.
I didn't even wank off. For me, it's not really enough. I didn't wank off.
Oh, back in the day, you didn't jerk off to Playboy?
Not Playboy's different, but page 3 is just topless. I didn't wank off to that.
It's the same. I mean, it's not like Playboy's inserting things. They're pretty much topless.
Did you do Zoo Nuts, FHM, and any kind of that kind of stuff?
I done Zoo and Nuts, but I never got a cover. I always wanted a cover, but no, I never got one. But yeah, I did do quite a bit for them over the years. I'm trying to think what else there was. Fucking hell. Seems so long ago now.
When you're with a guy for the first time, are they like focused and straight away onto the tits? Is that like the number one that's where they're going immediately?
Yeah, why not? I don't see why not.
I'm just saying. I mean, this is something you would know, or is that the first thing they're going crazy? Do you find?
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really notice or take note.
Do you find guys finish very quickly when they're with you?
God.
Like they come quickly because you're too good looking. Like they can't handle it.
You've asked this question to every.
That has to be the main question to every hot woman.
Cannot
because
be the consistent. Because I told you before that like that it's not that they're going to say, they're all going to say no, but you keep trying to
that is because I guarantee you, I bet you she thinks every man always guarantees to finish within a minute. She's never had one pass a minute and go, oh, what do you mean they go past a minute? I never knew that, because there's no way anybody lasts any amount of time being with somebody that good looking. It's impossible.
Oh, God.
Billy would finish, I'm sure. If he doesn't have a rubber on, because if he has a rubber on, he can't finish. We know that. We've heard this story many times.
Oh God!
You know, did you see Billy ever with the without the beard and the Oasis haircut? Have you ever seen pictures of him like that?
Yeah, probably.
Do you agree that this is 100 times better look that he has now than that other look?
They're both good, aren't they?
Really? You enjoyed the Oasis look?
Either or, whatever he wants.
No, there's not whatever he wants. We have opinions. If one looks like shit, it's okay to say. So would you go out with him if he asked you out? We're going to get back to that. Don't think you escaped that question.
We're not going to get back to that.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry, Billy. I'm trying for you.
I'm not even. I'm not. I came off it.
I know you wanted me to ask that question and see if we could get her to go out with you, but
yeah, I didn't actually. I know. And I tried to come off it. The thing is,
I know you tried to divert. I'm like, I see this fucker.
You do this to me, and then I have to still speak to these people afterwards.
Yeah, he's embarrassing you.
That's what's good about living all the way across the world.
Oh, he did it. He did it with a guest that I talk to like every day, and now I don't talk to her every day.
Oh no!
You're not allowed to say you're attracted to somebody and that you would take them out if they wanted to, and have a good time. Doesn't mean you got to go get married or even be boyfriend girlfriend, but have a good time and go out.
I think it would probably sound better if I just did it myself. Like that would probably.
All right, the floor is yours. Go ahead, ask her out.
God.
Oh God!
Yeah, you just said. Go ahead.
Oh my God!
I'm nothing to do with this at all.
Billy.
Also, she knows I'm not anyway. So because I spoke to her for a while. So
you wouldn't be attracted and want to do anything with her, right? I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey.
Well, don't say it like, oh, I've known her a long time. You could know somebody 1,000 years. If they're very attractive and good looking, it is what it is.
The thing is with it, right? And the thing is that it's an industry that's not really it's not really been kind to me. So in these kind of like
with the wife, the ex-wife.
Oh no, the wife was not as bad because sometimes like marriages like don't work out, and obviously especially when you get married in Vegas for no reason, that kind of wasn't very clever on my part. Mm-hmm. But then I've been out with other people that do this. I mean, the thing is that when you say to me, oh, I've like steered clear of all problems and doesn't have and legit. And the thing is that I'll say this about her, like she's not here, but she's on the call. Who
are we talking about?
You. I'm talking about you. In terms of
we're talking behind your back in front of you. Go ahead.
Yeah, while you're here. But in terms of like things said about not being involved, not saying bad things about certain people or having any bad stories or anything bitchy to say or having just not even anything bitchy, but in terms of some girls have come on and had stories about situations that they've seen and this, that, and the other, and you don't have any of them. But that matches up to private conversations as well. So she's not coming on and being like, oh, actually, shit.
Yeah, being fake. She's not being fake.
Yeah, it's not. She's not doing that. She actually didn't have the stories and things to say before she came on anyway. She's just managed to miss that out.
Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
No, it's not disappointing at all, actually, because it's different to other people. But the thing is, that's the good thing in terms of every well, most of the girls that I spoke to that do that have kind of become that way in terms of there's a little bit. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm honestly, because I'm on the spot, I'm trying to think of a better word than damage, but I can't think of a better word than damaged. So there's a bit of like damage there. So in terms of like, I would try and avoid those people because there's obviously the one. There was my ex-wife, which didn't work out because we just stopped getting on and just argued all the time. But also there was the one where I was going out with a girl. I don't know if you heard about this. But I'm not going to name the name, but just tell me if you heard the story. So I was going out with a girl who is on your channel right now. And I was going out with her for about 6 months and living with her. And then somebody that she webcams with sent me sent my ex. So my ex-wife, wait, let me start again so that we know. I'm going to start again so you can follow.
Georgie, have a Red Bull.
No, Georgie's terrible at following stories, I think.
I am. No, I'm awful.
All right. So you may have heard this before because I know you say you don't hear anything, but you may have heard this because it was quite a weird story, quite a crazy story.
Why don't you say her name? She doesn't listen.
Oh my God, no way would I do that.
All right, Julia Roberts.
No, do you know what?
Absolutely no way would I do it.
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to sort of be listening. I just want to be involved in you talking about other.
Doesn't want to be involved in the gossip.
Yeah, because I just don't. It's not me at all.
Oh, you don't even want to hear the story.
Yeah, no, I just don't know. Like, no.
What is a celebrity? Is there a celebrity that you don't have to have known them, met them, anything? A celebrity that you absolutely hate?
Oh, God.
I mean, we hate a lot of people, and obviously never met them, but there's got to be a celebrity out there that you're like, oh, I fucking hate this fucking girl guy.
We hate most people until they do something good, and then we're like, oh, actually, that person's all right. Like
we hate the Bella twins, things like that. So is there a celebrity you hate, or you don't have hate toward anybody? A Kardashians, anybody like this, anything?
I don't. To be honest, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. But what I do know is I've been on the phone forever now.
We should be letting her go, Billy. I think we've worn her down. I didn't even get to ask her the first time she tried anal. That was another question.
What about these people? What about these famous animal hunters that pose
trophy
with,
hunters
that pose with their like when they kill?
Are they celebrities?
Like, predators. I don't know.
People who kill giraffes. Do you hate them?
I'm not a fucking fan at all.
There we go.
What I've not picked up on is, are you a vegetarian or a vegan from the stuff that you put out?
Well, I do my best with the vegan. Like I do my best. I try and use products that aren't tested, and I must admit, up until like a couple of years ago, I was still buying leather, but like I've stopped that now.
She practices what she preaches, pretty much.
I'm trying. It's like you make some mistakes. It's cool, like whatever. But I'm trying.
If anybody wants to see what she looks like, go to her Instagram. It's GeorgieDarbs. GeorgieDarbs.
We're gonna put that back in at the beginning as well,
and it'll be on the description of the show too. But GeorgieDarbs is what you want to see, and it's worth a look. It might take her a little while to accept you, which I don't know why she's private, because she's celebrity. It should be wide open. Get you more stuff.
Let me do the plugs, and then I'll do a pre-record and get around the front, get them at the front as well. Nice. So let me just explain what everything is. So Instagram's Instagram. That's GeorgieDarbs. GeorgieDarbs. Yeah. So that's the Instagram. And then if you want to go to the OnlyFans, which is at Georgie Darby, which is actually spelling of her name, but Darby spelled with an A, not an E.
I know, that's so annoying as well when people do it with an E.
And what can we find on there on your OnlyFans? What do you have?
Well, Darby's the place where the Darby's actually going to be in the news, because the first place in England where the coronavirus is.
Oh boy!
And the first school closed down.
Named after the coronavirus.
A school closed down today. Did you know that?
I heard something like yesterday. I think it's all blown out of proportion.
I think this is more the stuff that she wanted to come on and talk about, and not more so about what she does at work.
Yeah, do you know what? It was like Ebola as well. So they went crazy. Like half the world was going to be wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like this phase will pass. It
But
will
how?
pass.
Like how
When
will
this
it pass?
zombie
Like,
apocalypse comes.
It's just a cold, isn't it? That's all it is.
Well, you've been listening to Rush Limbaugh too much with that. Did you hear that whole thing?
No, I ain't. But I just reckon it's just a fucking cold. I think more people die from colds, didn't they, each year?
Well, I mean, the flu and the cold have been around for thousands of years. This is too new, and it's already got a lot.
But initially, did you think it was down to the stuff when they were saying that it's come from bat soup and all that shit? Like, did you?
I mean, it's possible, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, they eat a lot of bullshit, those Chinese.
Oh, that was everywhere. That's kind of where I'm bringing back
snakes
around
and
to that
shit.
because I only realised that this coronavirus was even going on because I saw it something on Georgie's page. And
Oh yeah,
in terms of
the mice, those little live mice.
yeah, and I'm actually now eating, cutting out my meat since basically being in and around your. I'm not cutting it out completely.
No,
but sometimes, but most of the time, if I can get away from having the meat, I will. So
yeah. Well, that's good. Good for
but
you.
it was also down to like it was not just down to your page. It was down to actually having the colonoscopy endoscopy thing that we talked about. We were off the air. We were talking about colonoscopies and endoscopies because Georgie had an endoscopy today, and which I think Cav had a question about, but I forgot what it was. So yeah, that was the thing because they just turned around and said that like this, you could keep coming back here with these stomach issues because your red meat. Because how much red meat do you have, and how often do you have red meat? And I literally said every single meal, which is what it was. And they were like going, well, you can't have it more than 3 or 4 times a week, or you're going, especially with your stomach, or you're going to be coming in every 6 months because every single time I thought like, do you do the thing where you get something and then you go on to Google and you've got cancer?
Yeah.
I do. And so before you had this endoscopy today, did you think you had some kind of like stomach cancer that you needed to get checked out?
Oh no! I was just getting a heart checkup.
Oh really?
Yeah, so that they can only view my heart properly by sticking the camera down my throat. So because it's at the back of the heart, it's difficult to see what's going on.
What's wrong? What's wrong with your heart?
They thought something was up. They thought I had like a really bad leak, so they were just being safe. But yeah, it's cool. Like they fixed it like years back.
Oh, so you might not have had you around.
Oh no, yeah. A few years back, about 5 years ago, I had the surgery. But
I never knew that they would do that to look inside your chest.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It fucking feels so weird because you can feel it. It's so far down your feeding tube.
Yeah. So did they say to you like if you take it down your throat without any medication, you can drive home straight after, or if you want us to put you under, someone's got to come with you.
Yeah, but I went on my own.
And you took it all the way down.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
She's a professional.
Yeah, I was gagging like fuck though.
Yeah,
you got a gag reflex, huh?
Oh god, it's terrible.
Billy didn't have a problem at all, which makes me wonder about him.
I didn't. I think.
Oh yeah, you had it, didn't you? Yeah, you had it. So
I had 2. So I had this. I had the one you had.
Yeah, and then the one up the arse.
Yeah, but the thing is, I had the one you had
without
first.
A camera.
I had the one you had first, and it didn't solve anything with my stomach. And they put me on these pills for stomach acid. And I said, look, I want to go back and get seen again because this stuff you've given me is not working. And they said, all right, go back, have the same thing again, and the one up the arse this time. So I then had to go double barrel like the next day. And the thing is, when you go double barrel, they actually give you, do you know like how Senecot says take 2 a day?
Yeah.
Right. So they give you 30 Senecot to take in 1 day.
Oh my god.
So they literally, you have to clear yourself out to the point where it's absolutely clear so they can see there's nothing in there. Like it's like looking through like two sides of a straw. Like they want it to be that empty.
Yeah.
So I'm having this like clear out, and the thing is that they booked me in 1 day before I go to Vegas, And I can't believe I'm telling this story. One day before I go to Vegas, so all of a sudden you go in and have this thing, and you cleared your system out. You know that them pills, they don't just stop working for that one day.
No,
because it was still afterwards. So the food that I was having afterwards, like even on the flight, it was like, because the medication was still in me, it was making me feel like
shitting
going
it out
straight.
instantly.
Yeah, I swear people on the plane thought I was on drugs, like or something. Because I have that look as well, where they must think, oh, this guy's a fucking junkie. So yeah, I was like in and out of the toilet constantly. And
Senokot gives you the worst pains as well, doesn't it?
yeah, but that's what this stuff does. This stuff did that, but it obviously like was even stronger. So it was just I didn't even know. So apparently, if you have Senokot and it's not getting the job done, you can actually take the whole packet. It's the moral of basically from that. You can do it. There's nothing will happen to you, other than the fact that it will just clear you out completely.
Fuck it.
You know, when Billy got the thing up his ass from the doctor, he realized the doctor, both of his hands were on his shoulders at the same time, and he felt this wasn't right. Something must be going wrong. Let's let her go, Billy, before we make her, kill herself like that TV host. She's gonna be sick of being with us.
Have we given everything? Oh, so we didn't. I was up to OnlyFans, which is
how does Instagram and OnlyFans will be there? But what is on the OnlyFans? What's different?
That's like the main thing.
Yeah, that's where you see all the filth. That's where all the filth is.
So I was treading around it and not talking about it, but can I mention like this fuck machine thing?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so
God.
So it's on there, so people want to see it. Now I've got people. Now I've like sold.
She's a fuck machine girl.
Look, see how I sold it. See, like I've probably sold 3 or 4 subscriptions right there.
It's out of use at the moment though, because I've lost so many nuts and bolts, so I can't fucking stick it together.
Hey now. Okay. Go on. After you couldn't fix the machine, you said you were missing all the nuts and bolts.
Oh yeah, go on. So who
did? Yeah. So nuts and bolts. So I can't put the machine together. So that one's out of use.
So my question was going to be, how do you come across this? Did you want this thing for your own pleasure? Do you want it or do you want it for work, or is it both? Or like, how does it come across to your mind to like even buy this? Because the thing is that not many people have got one. This is kind of your unique thing.
My one looks prehistoric though.
It looks like a proper like factory machine. Like it looks like it's not meant to actually do that. It looks like it's meant to be like packing like boxes or something.
It's terrible, and there's better looking ones out there. But I just saw it.
But everyone's going for like the massage wand thing. But you're not. You're like doing the whole
pile driver.
I think it honestly looks more. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, it'll be more appealing to the clientele that you're going for to just rebuy what you have. Because no one else has got that.
There's a few people out there that have got it, but I've had it for a few years now, but they seem to love it. But shame I can't put it together.
What is it? What power tool does it like? What is it? What does it do?
I sent you a video, Cav.
Oh
God.
I mean, I probably can't watch the video while I'm on the phone at the same time with it. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen girls with the fuck machines having like it's a chainsaw with a bunch of tongues. I've seen that. I see the one that's just in and out constantly, or the power tool that spins like a crazy shit. Yeah. And
no, it's just in that one. I think it must be quite old now. I've had it about 6 years, I think. 6-7 years.
See, if you're ever done with it, you should just sell
it looks
that
ancient.
shit.
Yeah,
online.
sell it, but it's all broken, isn't it?
Yeah, but guys will buy it.
Some use dildos.
There you go. I mean, you know what Jenna Jameson used to do? She would go to strip clubs where she would perform, and she would buy a bag of blow pops, and she would put a blow pop in her pussy and hand it out, and $20 each for a fucking blow pop. People would take it and either put it in their mouth or they'd have saran wrap and save it forever. But I'm like, $20 a fucking pop, and how many's in a bag? 50. I'm like, ooh, that might be a business thing you could do. Ship out blow pops to people.
Yeah, I could do. I had a bag of like dildos and that, the old ones, but they'd all sort of melted onto one another. So I had to I don't know what the fuck happened, but they were all fucking molded.
But you can sell
into-
anything in this. You can sell anything in this industry, can't you?
Yeah, I binned them as well. I was so stupid.
Well,
But
the
like
blow
you
pops are
could
cheap.
literally come on and sell that immediately, couldn't you?
What?
easily.
You pick your tampon?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
You wouldn't want them to
Yeah.
have your DNA, kind of, though. You know, that's what I get
that's
worried about.
Blood-soaked tampon. I'm sure someone out there would like one.
Oh, they put it in their tea. You kidding?
see, that's the thing. I've always. This is the only. I'm gonna let you go in a second. It's the only part of it I don't understand because everybody like always has this kind of mentality where they go, "Oh, these guys will buy your tampon, and these guys are sick, and these guys are like." Some people say like these guys are losers and all that, but actually, in terms of like having to buy these things and make the calls and all of that, these guys have some like serious money. So that's actually not true. That's like a misconception that everybody has, unless they're seriously in debt or they're running up their parents' phone bills and credit cards and things. These guys, they do have money. These are actually like successful people. Most of the people that call up, aren't they, or talk to you guys?
Yeah.
They would have to be.
Yeah, there's a range. I think it's a range of everyone.
Mm.
You get a bit of everything calling you up. Yeah, and you hear it all.
All right, I'm gonna let you go. So we've got everything out there. So if you want to check her out, the OnlyFans is the best place to go.
Yeah, come and see me
and-
fanny on OnlyFans.
And see, to them that means arse.
Oh,
We
fuck,
know
cunt,
Fanny.
then.
We know Fanny.
What about?
You do?
We're hip, yeah.
All right. So cunt. What's that in America?
What, cum? Cum is cum. I mean, I know you guys
No,
say
cunt.
spunk. Or what is it?
Cunt. C-U-N-T.
Oh, cunt? Yeah, cunt is pussy. Yeah, but over here, cunt is... That's like one of the highest curse words you could possibly... Like, that is one you do not use to a woman. You will get killed if you call a woman a cunt over here. And it's funny because Billy uses it as hello. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that word here, all women go crazy if you say cunt.
Yes, I like it.
I've always liked that word, but I know to not say it around certain people.
I've tried to calm down on everything this year. Like I've tried to make a conscious effort on this particularly to calm down on everything. In terms of on my Facebook, I just got my first Facebook ban of the year. I was doing so well. Like,
you're so funny on Facebook. Fucking hell.
I'd gone 7 weeks without a row and a ban, and then I got caught last year. Last year it was suspended like most of the year, but like this year it's really like calmed down. But then I don't know, I got roped into something. There was like a black guy supporting Tyson Fury, and I called him a coconut, and I didn't realize that was a racist term. But
If he was white on the inside, yeah. Well, I mean, was he?
I didn't. Yeah, and it was like it said this goes against our terms and policies. It's like
really.
I was like, how? I don't understand how that does. It's not.
Well,
it's not racist. It's the opposite.
Well, you're telling them they're
you just gotta be careful, I suppose.
You're telling
You just
Billy
don't
that.
know.
Forget it. You wasted. Let's let her go, Billy. For God's sake, this poor woman ready to jump out a window.
No, do you know what? I've got to do some work. So I always leave it till well late at night before I do any work. So,
well,
Do you mean
Billy
work
will
as in
get
like
to...
paperwork or webcam?
yes, I've got to do some pictures, pictures and videos for the site. Because it's basically I put out a picture set a day on the site, so it seems like a lot.
It is.
Well,
a
you
job.
have to have pictures taken, or it's like pictures you've already taken. And you just need to put them
No,
out?
I'm going to do some.
Oh, you're going to do some like selfies and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to do some.
Oh,
do some
are you like all done up at like 1 at midnight?
Well, I was on cam before. Yeah, so I was sort of done up before you called because I was on cam for like 4 hours.
But you're not like one of these. You don't look like you need like that much maintenance though. To be honest, like you don't have the stuck on rubber lips and stuff like with all, and you don't look like you're 70% makeup would be that. You kind of looks like it doesn't really take that much, to be honest.
Oh, that's nice of you to say, but I've had some put in my lips. I've had some filler in my lips.
Oh, but you've not like destroyed your face. Like I know we can't say it because you don't want to get involved in these kind of conversations. But some girls, you can. They
Name some women who've ruined their face.
Oh no! But listen, I'll say it because like she's nicer than I am. But you see some girls and you see them like at 20 and they're beautiful, and then they're at 30. It's just like, what did you do?
They panic.
Like, why did you think that you needed to do this to yourself? Like you, in terms of like having these cheeks that don't look real and these lips that don't look real and all that stuff. You look exactly the same as when I saw you when you were 19.
No, I don't. Fucking hell.
Cav,
don't.
When she goes, I will send you a picture of her when she's 19.
Oh God, no, don't.
How old are you now? 30,
34.
Bang on. 34.
Mm.
The 30s are the best. They really are.
Oh, so
They're better than the 20s.
I didn't meet you at 19 then. I met you when you were 23, I think.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah,
Right.
about that.
Okay, so from 23 then, so that's still not too bad. From 23 to 34, you've not changed a bit, have you?
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, obviously you don't notice it.
Yeah, but look at me in the last like 11 years, like Cav was taking the piss out of in terms of like he was going like Oasis to Jesus and whatever. But like, why do you find that so fucking?
That's so funny. It's so English, that Oasis haircut with the bangs and the rest long. It is so. I don't know. It's 70s rock and roll. I think. I don't know.
Experimenting, wouldn't you?
Oh, that was something.
No,
I used to experiment
with
Vanilla Ice hairdo, for God's sake. But
No, I'm just lazier. Like to make like back then.
No, you don't have to cut it.
I was trying harder. Yeah. So you do. So you do. So you don't do nothing. Like there's no explanation for why you look the same 11 years later at all.
Her parents.
Just the parents. Yeah.
Yeah. Genes.
I don't know. I must have changed, didn't it?
I don't think you have. I don't think you've changed at all. It's no reason for me to say this stuff.
You're trying to ask her out. Of course, you're saying this.
Yeah, this is how I'd go about it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah,
we all know you're bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's let old Georgie girl go.
All right. You have a nice night, you boys.
All right. Have a good one, and thank you for being on with us.
Oh, cheers
Bye-bye.
for getting me on. Catch you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a smooth interview, wasn't it, Billy?
Yeah, I feel that she felt like
people she know are going to listen to this.
Yeah, like other, because obviously girls have been on and are coming on, so I think she feels they may listen to see in terms of, you know, what's certain.
Meanwhile, these girls don't even know what a podcast is. So
nah, I don't think there was anything to worry about. I think other than when it came down to talking about other people in the industry and stuff, I don't think she wanted to talk about it. But also though, when you were talking about stuff in terms of growing up and stuff, she didn't want to talk to you about it either. So
no, I think where we hit the best stuff was me making you both uncomfortable with you dating her. I think that was our best fucking shot tonight. That went over the best because it was fucking funny. So I think that's the way to go with any of these women. Ask if they would date you.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to achieve with that though. Whether you're actually trying to.
Well, I mean, I think they should be able to say, "Yeah, I think Billy's cute. I'd fucking go out with him." Why can't they say that? And then you bang and report back. She doesn't find you attractive, I guess, and doesn't want to say that shit because God knows I've been in that boat a million times where they're friendly with you and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in fucking you though." You're like, "Great."
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I've not really got that I've not got that vibe from her from talking to her. So I don't know. It's a difficult one because she's not committal in terms of even when we're doing the interview. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've given a lot of time in this interview, so we're going to go now, and we'll have more interesting, fun stuff. And we think we're going to do, the next time we do any of these interview types, quote-unquote interviews, I think we're going to, as Billy was saying to me earlier, that we would just have them be the third person on the show and, you know, weasel our way in a little bit. And if they're down to talk about certain things, like we would have seen this one wasn't up for talking about a lot of stuff. So we would have steered clear.
I think it's better like that because the thing is, I obviously I'm trying to do like a current affairs show with a third person in it to give a female perspective of current affairs. But the thing is that when you get them on sometimes, look and talk to them, it's hard to you don't get onto the current affairs.
Yeah, it'll always go astray somewhere else, right?
I do think Gigi like strayed you around a bit more because she would give, she was willing to talk more about
normal
whatever.
shit.
I think is this part on the show now?
Yeah.
We'll see what if she listens to it and we're going like, oh, she didn't give us nothing.
Well, it's not that she didn't give us anything. She was shy when it came to certain dirty stuff, and that's her prerogative if she wants to. Doesn't mean she was a bad person or a bad interview. It was just what she was not into or wanted to talk about. And she told us flat out at points, I'm not talking about this, which I actually admire more, that someone will say, I'm not into talking about this, or I don't care about this or that, instead of trying to have to be nice and dancing around it, because I would have kept pushing. And, they tell you that and you move on to the next one. Other girls that you interview will be like, yeah, I like to get fucking, spit roasted, one in both ends at the same time. The more the merrier. And they don't care. So, teach their own for an interview. That's all.
But the thing is, I'm not in favor of interviews either. Because I feel like a lot of these girls are where they come from, either that industry or they come from, even if they do different types of modeling, promo girls, porn stars. Porn stars maybe once we get them on, but even then, we get 5 porn stars in, we're going to get the same interview. We get 5 girls in from this industry. I mean, her and Gigi are very different, even though they do the same job. So that was actually lucky. But the thing is, eventually, over the course of, by the time the NFL comes back around, and we have a sample size of 10 girls that do her job, and 10 girls that are strippers, and 10 girls that are porn stars, the porn star interviews will all be the same. It'll be like, yeah, I do this on my job, and I'll do that, this is my job. And then we'll get an insight into the porn industry. And then we'll get the same insight that we got from the last girl 3 weeks later. So,
see, what I was trying to start to do is from their first getting into a business thing and work my way up into where they are. And that got off track because I was trying to say, how did, with the growing up, were you very attractive from, did all the boys like you from the start? And how that, because you can go chronologically all the way through it and get their story of their life, because we would have got into, how she was raised, all that kind of stuff. But, it gets taken off on different directions. So what are you going to fucking do? Do you want to give all her plugs and information one more time, even though we did during the show, but it's always good to give some more? Because I'll be watching her get fucked by a machine right after we get off the air.
Yeah, I'm all still confused as to whether we're still doing a show or whether we're just talking here. I think we're doing a show still.
Our show is just talking.
So it's at Georgie Darby, and that's Georgie is J-E-O-R.
No, not J.
Fuck.
G.
Did I say J?
Yeah.
Did I say J when we did the show?
I don't think so, no, because she was listening. It's George, like George. Georgie Darby.
Yeah, Georgie. And Darby's D-A-R-B-Y.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Instagram is GeorgieDarbs.
Yes.
So it's Georgie and then D-A-R-B-S.
Mm-hmm. And like Billy said earlier, if you just Google her name, everything's coming up. Her Twitter's coming up. Her Instagram's coming up. Go there. That's the one thing I would suggest that she change, that her Instagram not be private. If you're trying to get people and all that kind of stuff, don't make your shit private. It makes no sense. Let it open for everybody. But, yeah, she's got some great things on there, and you can go to her fans only from the link inside of her Instagram. It's in her little profile. Go there. And there'll be a lot more things on that OnlyFans. That's for sure. That's where they go wild. And Billy's going to make his own soon and be jerking off on camera. He hasn't told anybody.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, fucking...
If somebody going to pay you, why not?
Pays more than, like, covering wrestling, probably.
By far. Just a different set of nerds.
Would you do that, like, if you had... if you could just...
Depends how much.
Jerk, like, all your jerks were recorded, but that was your job.
It depends how much. If I'm getting paid very well, sure, I'll jerk off.
It's a salary.
It depends how much that salary is.
Okay, what's your salary now?
Oh, what the fuck? I'm not going to say how much I'm getting paid now. But
okay.
If it was $100,000 a year, I would do it.
Yeah, every single one has to be. You can't. Basically, there's like you have to go and wank in the same place in front of the same camera each time.
That's fine. I look on my phone for you porn. But do you know I have not jerked off since I have moved here? Not once.
How long's that been?
I think I moved here in August. That's the longest ever since like starting it. By a million.
How have you not jerked off since August?
Because I live with a girlfriend. I fuck.
Well, you still would jerk off, would you? You can't fuck every day.
No. So if I'm not fucking, I'm not gonna be jerking off. If I'm coming, it's by somebody else there.
See, this is what the show needs to be. It needs to be like we just have our conversation that we would normally have, and then she's just in there, and if she wants to say something, then she can talk.
See, I think a lot of times, because I think that was with Gigi, we did talk normal, and she was quiet in the background about it. Like, it's got to take a while for people to get comfortable to join in and just talk and have conversation. Because if they're not used to being on, a microphone and doing a show, they're not going to be chiming in. But yeah, I'm trying to hit a year at least. You know when it started to stop? When my father died, I stopped jerking off. My dick died when my father died. I didn't jerk off for weeks after my father died.
Because you think he's looking at you.
You know what? That's popped into my head. I go, you know what? I don't need my father watching me jerk off. That's what they say. All your dead relatives are watching you jerk off. But I mean, and when I lived alone, I jerked off too, of course, because, I wasn't living in. But you always have the fear of, I'm going to beat off today. And then the girlfriend's going to reach over and start grabbing at your dick to want to fuck. And you'll be like, fuck. Oops. I just fucking, now you're not all you need to be, and you go get a Blue Chew. I'm going to send you a Blue Chew. See what you think.
I don't understand. She's not there now, right? She's out, right?
Yeah, she's not here right now.
So why would you not just put the phone?
Would you like to listen?
No. Why instead of why would you not just every time?
Because maybe when she gets home, I'm gonna fuck.
So you need to save what you have.
Yeah, I like to be all I can be. I like to say it because I don't want to, especially nowadays. I don't want to go twice. That's for sure. Those days, I'm like, it's not even a matter of can you? It's a matter of do you want to? Because here's the thing too, the whole thing is like, if there was 3 different women who went one by one, you'd probably do that. But if it was the same one, you wouldn't.
I just don't understand. Okay, so basically, let me just understand this, because this is really odd for me, because I do it constantly.
I wonder if you could beat my record. I literally beat my record. I told you I wrote down for 3 years. Each time I jerked off, I wrote down the person I jerked off to. And I did 401 times in a year before. And 7 in one day.
Sorry, you jacked off 401 times in a year?
Yes.
That's nothing.
You don't know that. Do you jerk off more than fucking once a day?
Yeah. Or every day.
Every day you jerk off.
Yeah, more than once a day.
You should write it down. You should write down starting now.
Oh my God!
You'd have missed 2 months, but it gets obsessive compulsive after a while. You can't. You got to stop doing it. You have to stop writing it down. I mean, not jerking off. I mean, writing it down. It was hard to stop writing it down. I'm like, fuck. I got to stop writing it. But I jerked off 7 times in one day. That was my record.
I don't understand it. I'm going to have one, especially after that.
You want to jerk off to Goldberg's victory?
Yeah.
And you're gonna look at Georgie Darby and jerk off too before bed, huh?
That may be the way I go. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, I would think so.
And but that
think of her not telling you information while you're jerking off.
Yeah. But then that's the thing. So once it's difficult now because Austin's here, so the school run. But as soon as I
was gonna say, yeah, he don't need his father jerking off in the bed with him.
But I'll go back to bed and I'll come back to bed and I'll jerk off. In the morning, I'll have a couple of hours sleep. I get one in the afternoon. I cannot.
Yeah, you don't have a job to go to. You could jerk off all day.
Yeah, that might be it as well in terms of like not being not. But the thing is, I've delayed stuff before in terms of like having a jerk off. Like in the morning,
See, before I was always hunting for ass too. I was fucking like every day it was, who can I get to come over today? Every day I was fucking hunting.
If I'm comfortable anywhere, I think about jerking off. If I'm in any comfortable spot, like if I'm in a bed, that will be the first thing I think about doing. Like,
sure.
If I touch down on a bed, I'm going to jerk off.
That was my go-to-sleep ritual. I would get into bed, pull the sheets down, pull my pants down, and start jerking off. Every fucking day before I went to bed, that's what I would do. And, hell, I jerked off at an old job before I came in the fucking urinal. So when the water flushes, you see it cascading over the fucking rocks.
I'm trying to think if I've actually been so desperate and I've gone out and publicly done it. I
Oh
think
my God, like in a bush?
When I was in Big Brother, it was the worst because I really didn't do it.
I was going to say, yeah, you can't jerk off on TV, right? I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, and there was like, and even there's cameras even in the toilets.
Yeah, by the shower. Yeah, that'd be annoying. I'd have a problem with not being able to shit with a camera on me. That'd be an issue. All right. Well, this is enough show for everybody. If you want, go to what's your Twitter? Where do you go to? Lock Betting? Is that your Twitter to go to?
I'm at Lock Betting, and yesterday I was on a 6-1 run in the NBA. And you know where I couldn't win any money this week? In this week, soccer, and
of all things,
and wrestling.
Oh, you did? You gambled on wrestling today?
I didn't lose anything, but like. So depending on where you bet, some guys told me, they messaged me saying that their bookies have settled AJ Styles as a loser in a market that didn't have The Undertaker in it, right? So basically there were 6 guys to bet on.
Yeah.
And I heard it was going to be AJ. And
first
of all, I heard it was going to be R-Truth. And I had like R-Truth at like 50-1.
Fuck.
They said they were going to do something. Some guy said the guy told me they're going to do something with him, and the guy texted me. He was like, "They just no, it's AJ now because they said on Raw he's going to be out there." He said to me on Raw he's going to be out there with which actually sounds much better. On Raw he's going to be out there with a trophy, and he's going to be like, "I'm the best in the world now," and then the Undertaker would come out. Which instead they gave it to these towel head folk, and instead we got this bullshit that we got tonight. But the fact is that should not be a losing bet. Like you can't, if for example you bet on the Super Bowl and the season doesn't end up getting, and nobody wins it because the season's cancelled for coronavirus, right? The bookies don't keep the money; you get it back. Like I'm not saying that the bookie should have declared it as a winner, and people that bet AJ should have won because he beat all the other 6 guys that were listed.
Yeah,
which he did. But there's no way these guys should have lost. But anyway, being transparent as I am, that did eat into our profits. So we barely made anything on tonight. Luckily, I heard Goldberg was going to be winning either way via DQ, or he was winning the belt. The Fiend wasn't winning tonight, so I was able to bet on that as an underdog anyway. So that was okay. But aside from that, the soccer tonight was a fucking disaster. So, unbelievably, I do a podcast about wrestling for 5 years. I've been doing 6 years. I've been podcasting about wrestling, and I'm classified as a soccer expert on another podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast Network. But if you'd signed up to my site this week, you would have lost money on those 2 sports, and you would have made money on college basketball and the NBA.
Jesus.
And the NHL. Of
all things NHL. Fuck. All right. Check that out. Check out my Twitter. That's at Lingus Mafia. And if you really want to watch something fun, go to YouTube and search Lingus Mafia and check out my YouTube page because I posted all 32. It's called the 32 Days of Lingus, and it's all 32 WrestleManias reviewed. All different times. 10 minutes some, 20 minutes others, 15, 7, whatever. And it's a real fun way we reviewed it. And check it out. It's not a video, it's the audio, but they're all on the YouTube, so check out Lingus Mafia. For Mr. Billy Body, I'm Cav Manning, and we'll see you next week.